Life Angels with Tracy Lynn, right here on LA Talk Radio.
Well, good evening, everyone. We're here live in the studio on LA Talk Radio with Life Angels. We have the Miss Tanya Lamani in the house tonight. Welcome to Life Angels. Thank you so much for being here.
I'm so excited.
Thank
you for having me.
It's such an honor. Thank you so much. We also have back in the studio live again, Mr. Dan Kennedy, celebrity photographer.
Yeah,
Dan the man. He's back. He loves it here. He's part of this show now. So
what would we do without me?
Right? That's pretty much it. So Tanya, welcome to the show tonight. We've got so much to talk about. You guys are going to be excited to hear this long history of what she's been doing. I mean, you look incredible, by the way. You must be, well, she was working out today. I love that. So what did you train today when you went to the gym?
Zumba.
Zumba. That's sexy. If you guys know what Zumba is, it's a little sexy Spanish dancing.
Yeah, it's
I
all
like
kinds of things. You know, we do everything.
I love it. How long have you been doing Zumba for?
Oh, for a few years in the gym, you know.
Okay.
But before that, you know, I've been trained in ballet and jazz and modern and everything. But I somehow became famous for belly dancing.
Yes, I know that. I love that. I have zero moves. I'm such a white girl. I mean, I think I could dance, but everyone tells me I can't. I remember I tried a Zumba class years ago when I was working for Steve Nash Sports Clubs back home in Canada. And they had this big film crew filming the whole thing, and I was in the back, and I stuck out like a sore thumb. There was thousands of people, and I was the only one that stood out. I mean, I was looking for myself, but I was like going left when everyone was going right, and my hips weren't really going the way it was supposed to. So my hat's off to you for doing the Zumba.
Oh, I love it. I love it. A lot of hip movement.
Yeah.
You know, and feet, too.
Yes.
And the arms. Oh, my God. My
it's
shoulders
beautiful.
And everything. I mean, you really work out.
Well, you were doing that before it even came out.
Yeah,
that's
right?
true.
That's right.
True.
It's a good workout. Yes. So you came from ballet and went into belly dancing. Is that correct?
Yes. Let me tell you a little story how it all happened. Okay. And when I was 16 years old, I was doing a ballet show, and somebody saw me, and they said, "Would you like to go to Las Vegas and dance? Get paid?" It was in the 60s. Get paid, you know, a long time ago. They were offering me $200 plus a room with a roommate, and I'm going, "Oh my God,
that's good money too, then."
That's good money, and to dance.
Yeah.
But Vegas, to me, Vegas was like going to another planet, you know. So they said, "Well, you have to be there. You know, we're leaving tomorrow." I go, "Well, I can't go." Or today or something like that.
Yeah.
I said, "I can't. I have to talk to my mother first and all that." So they said, "Okay, just show up tomorrow at the Flamingo Hotel and look us up, and you know, the show opens the next day."
Okay.
I go, "Oh my goodness! All right, I'll go." So I take a bus. I didn't have a car. And I show up at the Flamingo. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, wow.
And I get to the Flamingo, and I said, "I'm looking for a ballet troupe, dancers."
Okay.
They look at me, and they say, "There is no ballet."
Okay.
I go, "What do you mean? They're opening tomorrow a show here." "No, they're opening a belly dance show." I go,
talk about improv.
I said, "Belly dancing? I can't do that. My father will find out and kill me," because he was one of those old-fashioned, you know, fathers, protective. So they talked me into it. "Don't worry, nobody will recognize you. We'll put makeup and hair pieces." In those days, you know, lots of hair pieces going, and nobody will recognize. They talked me into it. I thought, well, 6 weeks, it's okay. Summer vacation, I can pick up some money and buy a little car, you know. So I stayed. And after that, I had an offer to go to Desert Inn and perform solo.
Wow.
With Pinky Lee's show. In
Okay.
Pinky Lee's show. I don't know if you remember, you're too young for Pinky Lee's show, but he was pretty famous comedian at that time. He had his own television show and everything. So I wound up doing a solo with him.
Good for you.
And I had to improvise again because I never really did belly dancing.
So did they train you during the so you had 6 weeks time, so you just went in there and you did your thing. You were just all of a sudden a belly dancer.
Well, you know, they put me in a chorus, okay?
Okay.
And they gave me veils and capes. And I'm going, okay. So here we were, girls on each side, and I'm keeping my eyes that way, not to bump into anybody. Whatever they were doing, I was just doing.
Yeah.
You know, and that's how it all started.
Okay.
And later on, I had my own show start, my own show in Vegas at the Flamingo.
That's
Hotel.
fantastic. I love the Flamingo.
Yeah, it
Been
used to be a different Las Vegas. Las Vegas was so you would not go out into the casino unless you were dressed in formal gowns
I've seen pictures
or
of that.
cocktails.
Definitely not like that now.
No, and you would never see anyone at night there. All the ladies were all dressed up, men were all in suits and ties, and everybody looked so glamorous, you know, and it was like wonderful to go out there and experience all that. So I had a lot of interesting experiences in Las Vegas, and I wrote a book.
Okay, yeah, let's talk about that.
Yeah, I wrote a book called Have Belly Will Travel.
I love it. That's a great title.
And that's the reason why the title, because how it all started.
Okay.
Okay. After that, there's a lot of pictures inside with all kinds of celebrities. Bob Hope and Gregory Peck and Robert Wagner. I mean, a lot of stars that I worked with. Get Smart. And there are a lot of very interesting, juicy stories of Hollywood.
I gotta read this.
Yeah.
I want to know.
Yeah. Oh, it's a lot of juicy stories because Hollywood was different in those days because a lot of important people like producers, directors, they sort of took advantage of their position with the young talent girls.
And is that different than it is today? I mean,
yes.
I mean, I'm being naive. I'm not in the movie scene, but isn't it still
it's
like that?
It's a little
though?
different because in those days there was no lawsuits, sexual harassment.
Or just so-called the casting couch thing.
Oh yeah, and if you read my book,
that's true.
There's a lot of that going on, and the art that you develop is how you handle it. Because if you tell anybody, you'll never work again. If you offend the ego,
I know in my industry it's very much the same as well.
You'll never work again. Okay, so you had to learn how to get out of things very gracefully and still not offend anyone.
It's thinking like a man but acting like a lady.
Yes. Yeah. And believe me, there were times you just run out of that office. And anyway, I would like you to read that.
I
book.
will. If you guys
You'll
want
be
some juicy
amazed.
stories, so you have to pick this up. Have Belly Will Travel. This looks incredible. I mean, I'm excited to read it.
Yeah. I worked with Elvis, and I worked in Star Trek. I worked with Bob Hope and Gregory Peck and Robert Wagner. And I mean, I've done a lot of television. In the 60s and 70s, I did a lot of television shows and some movies with Rod Taylor.
So some big names.
Oh, Rod Taylor was my hero.
Yeah,
I have to tell you that little story, if you don't mind.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, Rod Taylor. I was on the set doing a dance, and I also did acting in the same thing, in the same movie. And it took place in Morocco. So I was rehearsing my dance on the stage with the director and the crew and everything before they start filming. And then I hear this man's voice using foul language, addressing me. You know, I don't want to even say the words he used against me. I'm going, oh my God, this is embarrassing. And he continued to harass this horrible, horrible language. You know, come on, baby, to my dressing room and I'll show you blah, 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 blah.
Blah, blah, blah is right, yeah. We're going to have to bleep all these things out, Dan. You ready in case?
No, I'm not going to say anything. I'm not, but you can imagine.
Oh, yes.
And this went on for 3 days. We went on, and Rod Taylor and Peter Duell was in this movie.
Okay.
And we went on location where we had to shoot in the ocean scenes. And again, I had a bikini on and I was working with Rod Taylor doing the scenes. Again, this man never stopped. This is one of the leading men in this film.
Oh,
and
no.
he used this horrible language. Finally, nobody said a word. Nobody.
They're just all quiet.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Finally, Rod Taylor came up to him, grabbed him by his neck, and he said, hey, man, one more word against this young lady, you will answer to me.
Yay.
Boy.
Standing ovation for him.
I said, my
Well done.
hero, my
Yeah.
hero. I'll tell
You're
you,
like,
there were some great people in the industry, and there were some bad ones, you know.
Yeah.
But a lot of good people, a lot of great people that I worked with.
Yeah, you were.
So-
I mean, those are some big names. I want to go back and I want to talk about working with Elvis Presley. What was that experience like?
The experience was interesting.
Did you get casted that for first casting that scene for doing the Star Trek episode? Because you got a lot of shows. You were the belly dancer on TV. I mean, every show you were the belly dancer.
Yeah.
So if they get me the belly dancer.
Well, okay. What they mostly needed from me, because I was also an actress, and I've had a lot of acting roles as well.
Okay.
I developed into an actress. I started with belly dancing, but then it went into acting. And whenever they needed someone who could dance and act, they would call me.
Okay.
The Star Trek was, my agent calls and he says, you have an interview. I go, where? Oh, Paramount. I go, well, what show? He goes, I don't know, star something. I said, well, what kind of show is it? He says, I don't know. I don't care. Just go get the job. So I go and I audition. Of course, I had to read lines and dance and all that, and I got the part. I never knew the Star Trek will be as popular as it is now.
Wow.
I go to Vegas and I go to other conventions, and I'm telling you, I have so many fans.
I bet. It's huge. Star Trek is huge.
I'm
I
a
used to
Trekker. I'm a Trekker.
Yeah, my son was a Trekkie. I think is that Trekkie? Is that the proper
Trekkie,
term?
Trekker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. My son loved it. When we were growing up, it was, when he was growing up, it was the one thing that we were, definitely he was watching all the time. He loved
Yeah,
it. It's a
yeah,
good show.
Yeah. Oh, it is. And you know what? It's going stronger and stronger yet.
Uh-huh. The
they're
Star Trek
doing-
conventions are huge, are they not?
Big.
Do you go to those,
I've
Dan?
been to one.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, and people are dressed up. I know there was like some spoofs I saw on YouTube one time where it was like people doing the dressed up and they were in the lineup. I mean, people are getting into it. It's huge.
Yeah, we were at the premiere for Renegades together.
Okay.
The
Yeah.
new Star Trek movie, the
Yeah.
spin-off.
Yep.
Yeah.
We were there.
They
Okay.
have so many spins off coming out now.
And a new
Many.
TV series coming out maybe next year or so.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
Absolutely.
And your experience with William Shatner.
Oh, well.
I just was gonna say because
yeah.
I watched one of your interviews and it was
Okay.
funny.
Yeah, I saw
So-
I saw him Sunday.
Oh yeah,
Did you?
okay.
Yeah.
He was a
Comic-Con?
kamikaze.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I worked with him actually before Star Trek
Okay.
in Alexander the Great.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
Yeah, and I was one of the slave girls, and when I saw him, he was so gorgeous. He was in the little Greek skirt, you know. I mean,
Greek skirt will get you every time, right, ladies?
and I mean, I saw him and I go, oh my God, that's like a Greek god. Who is
Yeah.
he? They say, oh, he's the star of the show. I
Yeah.
go, really? I didn't know who he was. Anyway, we were filming and everything, and he came on to me and asked me to go out.
Mm-hmm.
But I looked at him and I said, I'm sorry, I just don't go out with married men.
I
know?
heard that in your interview. Good for
Did
you.
you?
I loved it. I was like, I was high fiving you when I heard that. I was like, good for you. You know,
Yeah.
because that's something that I would say.
Exactly, you
Good for
know,
you.
because I just couldn't do something like that. Although I say I kept thinking, oh my God, I would love to, you know. But I was only 16 at the time. And anyway, when I came on a set of Star Trek, and I was introduced to all the cast and everything. And it was introduced to Shatner, and I go, well, I don't know if you remember me or not. He goes, oh yeah, I remember you.
You're the one that turned him down. Of course he remembers you. They always remember that one.
Yeah, and anyway, he had the most glorious voice. Every time I would hear his voice, I go, oh my God, that voice, you know. And of course he was gorgeous, you know, he was gorgeous. So later on, a couple of months later, he calls me at home, and he says, I'd like to take you out. I go, well, you know I don't go out with married men. He goes, well, actually, I'm going through a divorce. I go, okay, well, all right. So we went out, and all night long, all he did was talk about his daughters, his wife, and I kept listening. I said, oh, well, I felt so bad for him, you know.
You were the shoulder to cry
Yeah.
on, yes.
I
Well,
said,
good
well,
for you
this
for
is
doing
not bad, you know, but still, you know, the whole night. So this went on for a while, you know, and then we started dating, actually. And Shatner loves to eat, and I love to cook.
Okay. So it was a good combination
So it
for
was
them.
a good combination. And when we would go to a restaurant, he would order like 2 different dishes for himself, main dishes. And I'm going,
Wow.
wow.
I thought people only did that on cruises.
No, he likes to eat,
That's
you know.
good, okay.
And but at the time, he had no problem with eating because his shape was very, very.
Yeah,
he
he
was
was
very
younger
fit,
and-
you know.
Well, we've seen him
Yeah.
in this episode
Yeah.
without his shirt off, so we've seen him.
Yeah. So he, a gorgeous man. Anyway, this went on for a while until I found out that he is seeing everybody else too. You know, all the other ladies.
A
Isn't
dog.
that nice? That's Dog Shatner.
I said, "Oh my God, I can't do this."
Aw.
So he kept calling, and I wouldn't answer the phone, and he didn't know to this day why.
You never told him.
No,
You
I
never
never
told him.
him. Although we've became friends
Okay.
after that, you know.
But you know, he probably knew because when you're, playing around and being a bad boy,
Yeah.
you're probably the good one that, got away.
Well, I just it wasn't in my nature, you know.
Good
I was
for
the
you.
old-fashioned
Yes.
type.
Values and morals are great.
Yeah,
So was
yeah,
it
I
through
know.
that Star Trek episode you got the job for the Elvis Presley comeback?
It was at the same year, at the 68, in
Okay.
1968. I don't know if it was before or after. Probably after Star Trek.
Yeah.
You know, I don't remember. But when I was on the set and I was in the makeup room,
Mm-hmm.
I see Elvis walking in. And I go, oh my God.
Yeah, I
he
would.
had this aura
I can imagine.
about
Yeah.
him, and with this big smile, and I'm going, he is so gorgeous.
Yeah, he had a very good look.
Yeah.
My parents just loved Elvis. I mean, my dad is still alive, and he just loves him.
Yeah, I loved him.
And I loved him because that's what I grew up with. So
Me too.
every year, even Christmas, it's like we're putting on that Elvis Presley album. It's like without a doubt, and it is an album. Yes, my dad still has that whole setup. So
Yeah.
So what was
So-
that like?
Well, I was standing there paralyzed. And what he would do, he would go to every person that was there.
Mm-hmm.
And he would introduce himself. He would shake their hand and he says, "Hi, I'm Elvis." And they would say, "I'm Bill, I'm Mary, I'm John."
Yeah.
And then he came to me and he said, "Oh, you must be Tanya, Little Egypt?" I go, "Yes." He says,
That's
"I'm
me.
That's me." I said,
Yes.
"Yes." And he said, "I'm Elvis." And he took my hand. I go, "Yes." And he kept talking. And you know, I don't know what he said. I had no
I
idea.
could see how that would happen.
All I was doing is saying, "Yes."
Meanwhile, still
yes.
holding his hand. You're like, I am not
Yes.
letting this go.
I
Yes,
said,
Elvis.
Yes, yes. And he kept on, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what he said. And then he says finally, "Tanya?" I go, "Yes." He goes, "Tanya?" I go, "Yes." And he goes, "Tanya, can I have my hand back?" I go, "Oh my God, I'm
Yeah.
sorry."
I'm sure you weren't the first woman to hold his hand a
Oh
little
my
extra long.
God. I tell you, I was totally hypnotized by him. And
So-
you know, we became friends.
Good.
And then later on, we went. I was in Vegas. I had a show in the lounge at the Hilton, and he was
Okay.
at the
main stage.
Main
Yeah.
stage. And somebody said, "Oh, Elvis is in the audience." I go, "Really?" So I was getting ready to go backstage. I go and I said, "I think he'll remember me," 2 years later.
Yeah.
So I came up to him and he stood up and he says, "Hey, Tanya,
Oh,
And,
wow. What
I
an
said,
experience.
"God, you must be here to see the other show, like the Checkmates." He goes, "No, I came to see your show." And I go,
Wow.
God, I got nervous because I had to sing as well in the show.
Wow.
And dancing, I was not so nervous, but singing, I was a little bit. So I rushed backstage, put my best outfit on, and
Yeah.
went and did a medley of 3 songs, and
And you did amazing, I'm sure.
I don't know, but
It's all a blur.
It's a blur.
You were just thinking that Elvis was on your mind.
Yeah. And what he did, he gave me standing ovation.
Oh,
Everybody
that just gave me
got up.
goosebumps.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
When you were filming, when you were
Amazing.
doing the special, I mean, you were dancing, and Elvis was standing, I don't know, 6 feet away from you. So how nervous were you dancing in front of Elvis? How crazy was that? Do you remember your steps or anything?
Pardon me, I'm sorry, I didn't.
Yeah,
I didn't get
so
that. What?
he wanted to know how nervous you were because he's only 6 feet away from you. So how were you? Were you like
I
thinking
was-
about your steps and your moves, or were you just in your zone?
No,
You were
I was in
Little
my
Egypt zone.
I was not nervous. Once I get into my
Yes.
situation, whatever I have to do, I get into it.
You're on.
I'm
Yeah.
on. Right.
That's good.
But in those days, you were not supposed to show your belly button. Okay, so they
Okay.
put this thing in my belly button, like the little flower or
Yeah,
stone or
Stone.
whatever.
a ring.
Why?
something.
And sorry, why do they say that you can't show your belly button
It
back
was
in the day?
censorship.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
I dream Regina couldn't even
Censorship.
show it.
Okay,
Same
I
thing.
didn't- I
yeah,
didn't-
I
I've
was
never
in it
noticed
too.
that.
I was there too.
Yeah.
Okay, well, interesting. Okay, and so
And
Elvis-
so what happened? I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
What happened? Every time I would move, it would
Fall
fall off. And they would have to stop the whole thing and Elvis, and they kept gluing it up. and again, this happened a lot. And Elvis would make all these little remarks. Tanya, my belly, my belly. Tanya, my belly, my belly.
That's funny. You were shaking and moving. You were popping that little coin out of there.
Yeah, and you know what was amazing? He never lost his cool. He would stop and wait for them to do everything. And he continued and stopped. He never said, oh, I have to go to my dressing room, oh, or this or that. Never.
Yeah.
He was such a pro. He was delightful to work with.
So it sounds like he was a very humble man.
Very.
Yeah.
Very humble.
His personality. And you say he had this aura around him.
Oh,
so his
yeah.
personality.
Oh,
I mean, he lit
yeah.
up a room. He was just magnetic.
Magnetic.
That's what I saw, you know,
Yeah.
and I obviously didn't meet him in person like you did.
No.
So
But you know, he was insecure.
was he?
Yeah.
Interesting. So tell me about that. Yeah, I mean, did he share that with you? Or you just knew because
I
you
just saw
you
him.
picked up on it?
I saw him, you know, and we did talk.
Yeah.
But once he hit that stage, he was fine.
Yeah, he got in his element. We get in our zone. I'm going to go ahead and take this caller right now. Hi there. Welcome to Life Angels. Who's this?
It's Jane Stockwell.
Hi, Jane Stockwell. How you doing this evening?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Good.
We have you live on the air. Did you have a question for Tanya Lamani?
No, I guess I was calling the wrong number because I was trying to get through to Rebecca, but that's okay.
All right. Well, I'm glad you called in and said hello. Welcome to Life Angels, and say hi to Tanya Lamani.
Hello there. How are you?
I'm fine. Hi.
We were just talking about her experience with Elvis Presley, so you called it a good time.
Oh my goodness, that is too funny because I just had a previous boss in LA that passed away, and Elvis was playing in the background.
Oh.
Oh, wow. Wow.
That's
Okay.
amazing.
You know what? Everything happens for a reason, and you were supposed to call in tonight. Wow. Well, I'm glad that you called in, and I'm sorry for your loss as well. And thank you for calling in. If you want to call back, we're here every Wednesday at 7 p.m.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Good night now.
Good night.
Funny.
It's, you know, life is interesting like that. And I really do believe that everything is all connected.
Serendipity.
Yes, that's right. So interesting. Okay, so insecurity, you know, and I find too, being in the counseling world and a life coaching world myself, is that a lot of the most beautiful people are very insecure.
Yeah.
You know, and it's really, really sad because, you know, once we kind of uncover all the things that are going on with them, we really get down to the nitty gritty of it and figure out why, you know, and that's also, you know, Elvis struggled from, you know, drinking and certain things like that. So, I mean, and at the end there, I don't know if it was, you know, what was his death from again?
I think it was the all the medicine medicine that he mixed all kinds
it
of
happening
pills.
around to all the celebrities right now. Back then, they just called it a heart failure. But when they see all the drugs he was taking all together, the combination of drugs, that's what did it.
That's
They
what
say Nick Keith killed Heath Ledger, and Nicole Smith.
I know.
A mixture of combinations.
Michael Jackson,
Michael
all
Jackson,
this. It's just terrible, you know.
And you know why? I'll tell you why. It's a very insecure business. No matter how big you are, the bigger name or bigger success you have, the more insecure you get, because today they treat you like a big star. Tomorrow you're down. I mean, literally. And so you're always on the edge, especially when you reach a certain plateau.
Yes.
So Elvis was insecure. And I was very insecure, and I understood his problem because the minute I hit that stage, or the minute I was in front of the camera, I had no fear whatsoever. But before that, I would be very, very insecure and nervous.
Of course, yeah.
Did that come from your upbringing? I mean, you came here from another country,
Yeah,
so
that's right, from Iran.
yeah, so when you first came to this country, what did you think? I mean, here you are, culture shock big time, especially back in the 50s, I guess you came here.
And you came by yourself, was that right?
No, I came here with my parents.
Okay.
I was 12 years old.
Okay.
And we came here. I couldn't speak English. Everything was a shock to me.
Of course.
Nothing was made sense. And I learned, actually, they put me in a classroom. I couldn't speak English at all. And
That's hard.
Yeah.
That must be really
And
hard.
I was just sitting there trying to learn, and I have a good ear for languages. I speak several languages.
Yeah, you do. How many languages do you speak?
Well, I speak fluently Russian,
Uh-huh.
Persian, English. I speak some Italian. I speak some other languages
Impressive. I
to
love it.
communicate. But my ear is good.
Uh-huh.
So it took me 3 months, and I started speaking English.
Okay.
Not well,
But you still.
and I had an accent, and I realized that the class that they put me in was too easy for me after I learned the language.
Okay.
Because in Iran, they really make you work hard in school.
Okay.
And you have to learn so much more in third, fourth class, fifth class
Okay.
than they do here.
Oh,
It was
interesting.
too easy for me. So once I learned that, I went to the office and I said, I want you to put me in a higher class. They go, no, you can't go in a higher class. I said, but I know everything in this class. They said, well, are you willing to take a test? I go, yes. So
Wow,
I
I
took
love
a
it.
test and they put me in a higher class. So I was able to graduate high school a year earlier. So
Congratulations. That's
At
impressive.
16, you graduated high school?
no, 17.
Oh, me too.
Yeah, 17. But
Smarties.
yeah, but anyways, it was it was difficult because once we came into this country, my father was very highly educated. He was a geologist and
Okay.
worked for big companies, traveled all over the world and everything. My mother was an artist and an art teacher, so they did well in their lives. And when we came to this country, we lived in somebody's basement, basically.
Okay.
But we were so happy to be in America. I tell you, both my parents and myself, my brother and sister, we were totally happy to be here and have an opportunity to have an American dream.
Be grateful, yes.
Yeah, and I have to tell you something about my father. It started out, he was working as a janitor. Okay, my mom was working in hotels, cleaning rooms. Okay. Later on, my dad read in a newspaper they were looking for geologists in Washington, D.C. And he applied. He went there.
Yeah.
And they said, well, you have to take a test. And he took a test with all these graduate doctors, young people like from Harvard
Okay,
graduates.
just out of
and
school,
all
too, so it's
these
fresh.
people, So, and he was 55 years old, okay? When they looked at the score, he was the highest score.
Oh,
Highest
fantastic.
score. And they said, who is this man? What? He's from Russia? Because originally he came from Russia.
Yeah.
He must be a spy or something. He must be cheating on his test. Get him over here. So they sat him down. And they sat him down and start asking him all these questions.
Grilling him.
Yeah, of course.
And he had this thick accent, but he spoke English.
Yeah.
And they couldn't believe it. He says, this man knows it all.
Yeah.
But we have to check him and see if he's a spy or not. Because it was Cold War
Lord.
between
Wow.
U.S. and
Okay,
Russia. So they checked him, and they hired him.
Oh, beautiful.
He was a top geologist, for the Alaskan pipeline.
Oh.
Wow. Impressive.
And he's in
Very
history
nice.
books. If you look him up, you'll see him in the history books there.
And what is his full name?
George Soleimani.
Okay, that's my
what I
dad's name too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
George?
yeah.
Yeah, so Lamani came out of that.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, my mom became a very well-known artist.
Aw,
Her art was in all kinds of museums.
fantastic.
And we fulfilled our American dream.
Hmm.
I had my dreams ever
Yeah.
since I was a little girl.
And were your dreams to be an actress? To be a,
Absolutely. I wanted to be a Betty Davis type of a
well, you are.
actress.
Look at you. So your whole family filled those dreams.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
incredible. That gives
Yeah.
me hope and inspiration too. I mean, I'm
Yes.
coming up to my 2-year anniversary from Vancouver, BC, Canada, and you make baby steps. When you come to a new country, I thought, oh, I'm just going to transition from being at the top of where I was in my career, and coming over here, it was like I was small, and it's just
Yeah.
like creeping my way up there. But thank you for giving me
Right.
that motivation and the inspiration, because, to follow your dreams, because not a lot of people
Yeah.
give up, when it gets hard. Do you have any motivational things that you'd like to tell our viewers and our audience to inspire them, motivate them to keep going?
Oh, absolutely. I have gone to many different places, including doing motivating speeches for actors.
Okay, good.
And I would always tell actors that unless you cannot live without show business, get out.
Okay, that's good advice.
But
Okay.
and a lot of actors say, oh, they come from different states and they say, oh, I have enough money to last for a year and then I'll make it. I go, no, it's a lifetime work.
Yes.
You have to stay in it for the rest of your life, okay? Because there's no other way. It takes a long time to get into the business, let people see your talent, develop relationships with casting people, directors, producers, writers, everybody, You have to give yourself plenty of time and get a job.
That is key. That is key. Exactly.
Get a
you
job.
can't be a starving actor, student, or whatever it is. I know, just even with mine, because it was like, okay, you're going to have to get a job, a real job.
A real job.
Good.
And a lot
okay.
of them, of course, work as waiters.
Yeah.
A lot of them,
Yeah.
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 And
Absolutely.
that's one of the things that I did. I worked in dancing at night, so I'd have days available
Yep.
to run around to studios
Yep.
and everything. So I did.
You have to do what
worked-
you have to do.
Yeah, I worked at the
Yeah.
Greek Village, which was at the time the beautiful restaurant owned by Robert Aldrich's daughter.
Okay.
And Robert Aldrich was a
Director.
big director. He directed Sweet Charlotte, and he directed big movies.
Okay. And his daughter belonged to her?
And this restaurant was his daughter's.
Okay, great.
And she was married to a Greek, so Greek Village was the place people went to.
Ah, okay.
Contacts.
So you're
Uh-huh.
making some money, you're making contacts, you're smart. Exactly.
And I made money to pay my bills.
Yep.
So I was available
Mm-hmm.
to run around to studios.
Yeah, it's
I'd
smart.
wake up in the morning, clean up. I mean, you work until 2 in the morning. You come
Uh-huh.
home and you clean up. By the time you go to sleep and it's late, then you get up as early as you can possibly get up, get dressed, clean up, and run around trying to get studio jobs. You know?
Uh-huh.
So my advice to follow your dream is, no matter what your dream is, don't let anybody discourage you, because you will be discouraged. every time you go anywhere, if you apply for a job, if you apply for anything, there will be people, usually small little people, you know, that will put you down.
Yeah.
The big people will not. They'll listen to you. They'll give you some time, most of the time, you know. But little people don't like positive people.
No.
And you have to be positively humble. Okay?
Oh, that's beautiful. I like that.
Yeah. And
I
you
like
have
that.
to be interested in them.
Yeah.
When you meet them, you have to show interest in them, so you will make them relax. They'll feel important, and then you can start to see how you can apply yourself to make them help you. Otherwise, it's so difficult. Do not give up. If you want something, I used to come home after rejection and cry and pray. I do a lot of praying.
Me
Believe
too.
me.
Me too.
Prayer is a power
Yeah.
house in my life.
Mm-hmm.
If I didn't pray and if I didn't trust God,
Yeah.
sometimes I questioned Him.
Yeah.
Why?
We all
Why?
do, and that's normal. And you know, even if people don't have God in their lives, you know, which I do, but you can still pray, you know, and pray. And that's the one thing that I've learned over my lifetime is don't pray to get things. Pray to give thanks and be grateful, and just, you know, share your heart with your higher power or your God of your understanding, and just, you know, just pray, connect with something bigger than you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what religion you are.
That's right.
As long as you pray to God and say, I'm in your hands, Lord.
Yeah.
I am doing this and this, but it's your will.
Yeah.
And I'm in your hands.
Yeah.
And please help.
Yeah, you got to surrender, and that's
surrender.
the biggest thing.
Yeah.
I've learned that a lot since I've been here, since I moved here, because, you know, things didn't go my way, and a lot, and I've been disappointed a lot, but it's like, you know, you have to give up that will, and it's not your will, it's His will.
Absolutely.
And you know, it's just, it works out so much better when you release it and you take away that pressure from you. It's like, hey, you know what, I need a little help right now. I can't do this on my own, so can you just help me? You know, I get down and you know, I pray, and I'm just like, take this from me, take this pain, whatever it may be, and just, you know, help me.
Oh yeah, and you know, life is a roller coaster. You have ups and downs, and we all have experienced that, and I certainly did, which I don't even want to go negativity, but there has been a lot of pain.
Yeah.
But one thing I've also learned, and I would like to share with everybody, is, you know, if somebody hurts you, you go in your room and you think about it. Don't hate them. Just try to think why, and why. What did you do to encourage them to do the hurtful thing to you?
Yeah, we have to acknowledge our part.
Exactly. And after you would do that and evaluate, just let go and move on. Don't keep anything that's negative.
Yeah.
It will eat you up.
Yeah.
And I tell you,
I second that. Forgiveness is the key to not being a prisoner to other people, places, and things, and, you know, just releasing that and letting it go.
You might not forget it.
No,
you know.
we don't have to forget it.
You don't have to forget.
But
that's part of your experience, you know.
Yeah.
But you forgive and don't keep any hateful thoughts about anybody, no matter who and how they hurt you.
Oh,
To
I
me,
love her spirit.
yeah.
I love
To
your
me,
spirit.
that is a secret of many interesting things that can happen to you.
Exactly. And, and you're the proof of it. I mean, look at you. You look absolutely beautiful, stunning, and you're happy, and you can see it in your eyes. And, the number one killer in this world right now is stress, and stress leads to heart disease, every condition possible on this planet.
Yeah.
We all have stress, but it's the way we handle it. So thank you for that word of advice.
Do you handle stress while you're dancing? You do?
Oh, God, yeah.
She Zumbas all her stress out. She's like throwing out of the hips and doing that thing.
I also
dieting and all the right diet you have and all that.
Diet. Well, yeah, you eat healthy. You have to eat healthy.
You have to. You guys hear this? I hope all my clients are listening, because I mean, this is prime example. And people always tell me, they're like, "Wow, you look great," and it's like diet, exercise, and taking care of my body. I mean,
she's in better shape than my sister.
Yeah, I know. She looks wonderful.
Well, I used to live in Hancock Park, and I had a studio there, and I taught dance.
Okay.
Belly dance. And then we would, my students and I, we would go to all these retirement homes and perform.
Okay.
And you should see those old folks.
Oh.
You come in there.
I bet. I'm lighting up right now just thinking about it. It's amazing.
You come in there, and they're all sitting there like this.
Yeah.
And then when you start performing and you come to individual person and you do a little, dance, and you say hi and you smile, this big smile comes on. And you know what? I also start teaching senior citizens how to belly dance.
I love it.
I'm telling you.
You should put them in your video.
It'd be electrifying. That'd be great.
Yeah,
I know. I love this. I want this outfit on here. I
made a video of exercise. I broke it down.
Yeah.
And it's like amazing how much people love belly dancing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I taught them the veil work
It's
and
the
symbols.
It's the core work.
Oh, for sure.
And,
And dancing is just amazing. When you look at it, we've got a couple of minutes here, but when we're, with like little children, you see them, all the videos and YouTube videos, and they're just dancing away. And then, as adults and stuff, but even as older people, you always see it at weddings. The people that are grinding the most on the dance floor and just giving her are the older people. And I love it. That's why I actually like going to weddings, because unless, that one song, Old Time Rock and Roll, the bird dance. I don't know if you guys do that out here, but we do it back in Canada.
Here's called the chicken dance here.
Oh, okay. I don't chicken, bird, whatever. It's terrible.
Yeah.
But, but it's just because it's electrifying, and we get to just be free and just, let loose. And that's the best part about it is
you gotta see her dance.
Enjoying life. I will. I'm going to definitely have you back on the show, Tanya.
Okay.
I'm so happy that you're here. I would like you to tell my guests and viewers where to find you, what your social media sites are, and your website and everything.
Yeah, well, you can find me as Tanya Lamani George on Facebook.
Okay.
And also my book and photos with lots of big names. Gregory Peck, Bob Hope, Elvis. That's just the face, but there's some pictures there. You'll find it on my website, which is www.TanyaLamaniGeorge.
Okay.
And there's my email there. You can always email me if you would like to contact me. It's www.TanyaLamaniGeorge. And that Lamani is Lemani.
Perfect.
George.
Okay. And I would love, if maybe possibly you could, Dan, I see a future here. Could you maybe teach me how to belly dance one time, and maybe Dan video or take some pictors?
I'd love
I'm game.
that.
Can you?
Sure,
Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
I'd love that.
And Dan's got to do it too, for sure.
I already did a strip pole.
He did the stripper pole a couple weeks ago at
I did that.
Boulevard 3. So belly dancing is next in your future. So thank you. That would be great.
Yes, it's, you know what's great about belly dancing? Not only a great exercise, it's very sensual, but it's classy.
Yes, it is
It's
very
classy.
sexy and sensual.
It's sexy, sensual, and classy. It's an art.
Yes.
It's really an art.
I bet.
How old is that? Thousands of years of old?
Yes.
But it's there.
I would like to thank Tanya Lamani for coming on to the radio show tonight here at Life Angels on LA Talk Radio. Also, Mr. Dan Kennedy, celebrity photographer. We've had an amazing time here tonight. I hope you guys tuned in www.latalkradio.com every Wednesday at 7 p.m. It's on the video channel, so you can tune in and see us live. Thank you so much again. It's been an absolute honor to have you here.
Thank you.
And go find her book, Have Belly, Will Travel, and find Miss Tanya Lamani. Thank you. We'll see you next time. And good night, Angels.
Good night.
Good night.
Later.
You're listening to Life Angels with Tracy Lynn, right here on LA Talk Radio.